There are so many incredible benefits of being an entrepreneur, yet some people still ask me, hey Sean, is being an entrepreneur really worth it? I mean, don't you have to work like 80 hours a week? And the answer to some of these questions may influence your own decision towards starting a business and becoming an entrepreneur. But before you find reasons not to become a business owner, please take some time to watch this video and listen to my 12 incredible advantages of being an entrepreneur, walking through my personal journey and my experience of these benefits. And if you stick until the end, we'll talk about why now is the best time to start. Stay tuned. Hey there and welcome to our channel. I'm Sean with Life Accounting, the accounting company that helps you save on taxes and build more wealth. And if you're all about that, then please consider subscribing to our channel and liking this video for the YouTube algorithm. Today, I'm walking you through the benefits and advantages of being an entrepreneur, some of which you probably already know, especially if you own a business, but there are likely some advantages you haven't realized yet. Now, before we dive in, I want you to know that I'm gonna put the timestamps for this video down in the description below so you can skip to the benefit that you want to learn the most about. However, you should know that I have structured this video in a way that these benefits build off of one another, so it is useful to watch the entire video. Okay, let's go ahead and get into it with benefit number one, income. Making more money tends to be the biggest reason why people decide to become an entrepreneur. And it makes sense because as an entrepreneur, you can make a lot more money because you can choose how much you want to charge for your services or products and then only perform the work that meets your income requirements. And I personally quickly jumped from making $10 an hour as a retail associate to making $50 an hour as a self-employed marketer. Although, of course, my work as a self-employed marketer was less consistent than having that steady W-2 income. And that's why most people start out with a side hustle first, which is usually some kind of part-time self-employment gig outside of their full-time job. In fact, nearly half of working Americans report having a side hustle outside of their primary job. According to a Bankrate side hustler survey, side hustlers typically earn $1,122 per month. And as your income grows and your side hustle grows, you are able to eventually replace it with your full-time hustle if you want to. And this was me, right? I was 20 years old, was still taking college courses, had a retail job at a sports goods store, and co-owned a marketing agency. But yes, okay, there were definitely weeks where I was working 10 to 12-hour days, including the weekends. However, once I was able to quit my retail job, once I graduated college and I started to grow my business to six-figure months, then my work-life balance came back with many more entrepreneurial benefits as well. And of course, with more income came benefit number two, taxes. Now, at first, I didn't see taxes as a benefit. In fact, I saw taxes as a huge inconvenience. Oh man, I have to do my bookkeeping, pay my quarterly estimated tax payments, and file my business tax returns. I'd rather be making a YouTube video. Because here in the United States, we have what is called a progressive tax system, which basically means that the more income you make, the more taxes you pay. For example, you could make $400,000 in income, but then pay 50% in taxes and only be left with an after-tax profit of $200,000. And in some states, in some cases, your total tax rate can be even higher than 50%. So then why in the world would taxes benefit entrepreneurs? Well, I'm sure you heard about all the stories about how the rich don't pay anything in taxes or how politicians and alleged millionaires have tax schemes to not pay the IRS. But here's the thing, okay? There are 100% legal ways to reduce your taxable income all the way down to zero, because business owners and investors can take advantage of the best tax deductions and get the best tax credits that ordinary W-2 employees cannot. For example, businesses can write off vehicle expenses. They can write off their travel expenses. They can write off meals and entertainment expenses, their uniform and clothing expenses, and so on. And as long as these expenses are ordinary and necessary to the entrepreneur's business, then they can be written off. And once again, once I realized this, I was able to transform my lifestyle into a business, which then helped me leverage the tax code in a way that many people cannot, and help me save hundreds of thousands of dollars in taxes. Which, by the way, if you need help with taxes, then we may be able to help. Check out the first link down in the description below. Okay, let's go ahead and move along to benefit number 3, autonomy. So once you start consistently making more income before and after taxes, then you are really in control of your career, right? Like, finally, you can decide what you really want to do because you have a nice, consistent income coming in for your business, and you can say no to a lot of other things. So if you don't want to start work at 9 a.m., say no. Don't want to work with a rude client? Say no. Don't want to wear a suit to work? Okay, say no. Now, I know someone out there is already thinking, and I'm gonna tell you this right now, okay? You are right. There are plenty of jobs that offer great flexibility of you being able to choose your hours and not having to wear business clothes and so on. But what I mean is, as an entrepreneur, you can easily get the benefit of, okay, what you want to do, how you want to do it, who you do it for, where you do it from, and when you start working on it. And this is why everyone loves promoting the idea of becoming your own boss so that you can stop working for the man. But let me ask you guys this, okay? What happens when you become the man, right? Because look, there are definitely some major disadvantages and negatives that come with being an entrepreneur that hardly anyone ever talks about. And as an entrepreneur myself, I have been through some of the lowest lows. So if you'd like to see me make a video on the downsides of being a business owner, then please tell me in the comment section down below. Now, with autonomy comes benefit number 4, growth. Now, I've got to say that one of the biggest cons when you are an employee or even in a set self-employed position is that most positions require you to do the same things over and over and over again. For example, if you are self-employed, then you take on a position of sales, then every day you're more likely going to be prospecting leads, doing demos, sending out proposals, and so on. And I mean, if you love sales and you really want to grow in that area, then that's great. But it may come a time when you feel like you have mastered the art of sales or a particular skill set, and then suddenly you're going to crave and really desire a new challenge that will help you grow both in your career and personally. Well, as an entrepreneur, once again, you get to decide what you want to do, and that allows you to explore different growth opportunities within yourself and within your business. For me, I've been blessed enough to be able to grow in different areas of my own business, like sales and marketing and recruiting and evaluating the financials and doing customer service and creating content and so much more. So growth is definitely a benefit that can't be overlooked. Okay, let's keep moving along with number 4, time. Now, the time benefit really comes into play once you get past the first few levels of entrepreneurship and start making a high 6-figure or close to 7 figures in revenue, because then you'll likely have started to hire employees to help you with different tasks. You probably have developed processes so that people know exactly what they need to do. And then you may have leveraged systems to hold people accountable and track results. And from there, you'll likely find yourself with some extra time. Now, by time, I don't quite mean freedom yet, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. But what I mean is now you have the time to think, okay? You are out of the grind where income is no longer your priority, and you've grown and acquired invaluable skills. And now you have the opportunity to take everything that you have learned and think about the future. And this is where I am right now as an entrepreneur. The businesses that I own are combined making a healthy 7 figures a year. And now I'm able to take my time to create some content, which doesn't take much of my time, while also planning my next business venture or evolution within my business. Which, by the way, make sure you are subscribed to our channel, because I definitely will continue sharing any businesses that I buy or create right here on this channel. Let's move on to one of my favorite benefits, benefit number 6, impact or value. Here's the truth, okay? Being an entrepreneur gives you an opportunity to really make an impact and change people's lives. When you have conviction, you have passion, you have purpose behind your business, then you can make a real difference for your employees. For example, here's a message from one of our team members, Brett, who loves the work he does and found his dream job within our company. But it doesn't just stop at impacting your employees, right? Like, you can make a big difference for your customers, your clients, and society at large. In fact, 63% of people decide to buy goods and services from companies that reflect their own personal beliefs and values. Which is why more and more companies are starting to take a stand when it comes to things like social issues or the environment, because it really helps to create a connection with their audiences. And as an entrepreneur, it feels so good to know that you are impacting the world and leaving your mark and using your God-given talents. Which brings me to benefit number 7, your network. Because when you start making a real impact in the world, then you start getting some positive attention. You can start meeting other influential people within your industry or your community. And there's a popular saying of this, okay? Your network is your net worth. And I don't think that just applies to money, right? Like, you can meet people who have a better understanding of how your industry works, which could help you in your business. Or you can meet people who give you a new perspective when it comes to managing your personal life or your personal finances. Or you can meet someone who would team up with you on your next big business idea, like a potential partner or advisor. And simply being an entrepreneur exposes you to other like-minded people where real bonds and relationships can foster. And one of the things that I found was that for some people, starting a business is the same as joining a social club where you can talk about the things that you love. Okay, now let's turn up the heat with benefit number 8, wealth. So far, I've been talking about the benefits of being a new and up-and-coming entrepreneur, but the wealth benefit is reserved for the super successful entrepreneurs. I made a great video on how to go from broke to rich, where I break down how business ownership is where the most wealth is concentrated. Because remember, with business, you have no income limit and you can pay very little to $0 in taxes. And in most cases, you have the network and the assets to leverage capital or debt whenever you need to. You see, owning the right business and assets can really put you in a position where money is no longer a factor in your life. Which ties closely to benefit number 9, generational wealth. You see, not only can the entrepreneur enjoy a wealthy lifestyle, but they can also pass on their wealth to their kids and their grandchildren and their great-great-great-grandchildren. And if done strategically, this wealth transfer can happen tax-free by setting up things like trust funds and family management companies. So if you've ever dreamed about creating generational wealth for your family, then becoming an entrepreneur is, in my opinion, the best way to do it. And with that comes benefit number 10, freedom. The freedom to do almost anything you want to do legally, of course. Now let's talk about benefit number 11, creativity, and specifically maximizing creativity, which again is usually reserved for the wealthy, because you see, for most of us, our creativity is often limited. Okay, we are limited to what we see realistic for ourselves in our lives. We have to be able to build businesses where we can give ourselves the best chances of success. But what if you had no risk? Like, what if no matter how many times you failed, you would still be wealthy? Well, then maybe you could get creative and serious enough to think about how you could live forever like Jeff Bezos is trying to do. Or maybe you would get super creative and serious about living on another planet like Elon Musk. But for most of us, we may dream of the possibilities, but others have the luxury of actually sitting down, getting creative, and actually trying to do it. Okay, benefit number 11 is accomplishment. Perhaps the best part of being an entrepreneur is your overwhelming sense of accomplishment. Knowing that regardless of all the risks and all the challenges or all the setbacks, you were still able to build something special. And that special amount of pride and accomplishment can never be taken away from you, no matter where you are in life. Now, here's an important note. There are many great benefits of being an entrepreneur, but the truth is there are still risks. Many new businesses fail and some people just aren't cut out to work for themselves because they may need someone to tell them exactly what to do and hold them accountable. And if that's you, then that's okay? Don't force yourself to be something that you're not. However, if you feel in your gut that you are an entrepreneur, then the best time to start is right now. There is so much free education and free tools and capital that is literally at your fingertips. And as the United States starts to head into more challenging times ahead, predictably to deal with inflation and debt, then you're gonna wanna have some control of your income through your own side hustle or full-time business. All right, coming up next, I have 2 more videos with more business content that may help you out as well. So if you haven't checked those out already, make sure you do, and I'll see you over there.